In a childhood memory, young Jiro sits with his dog Nachai, who tells him his unusual talents make him different. She promises that one day he'll understand why that's a gift, not a curse. Under a bridge, delinquents mock Jiro before he lays into them, easily beating both attackers to protect his friends. Grateful, his friends thank him, though they worry the bullies will target him next. Back home, Jiro's grandfather scolds him for fighting and lectures him about shinobi training. When Jiro mocks the family's ancestral katana as fake, the old man furiously brandishes the blade to prove it's real. Crow leads Jiro into the woods, where he finds a small black cat lying in a pool of blood. As he reaches out, a terrifying vision of an ancient, monstrous being flashes before him. Back home, Jiro feeds and bandages the cat, who suddenly hisses and speaks. The cat introduces himself as Rago, declaring he's not a cat at all but an immortal being called a Mononoke. Elsewhere, Bureau of Espionage agent Ichika Kishimojin discovers a trail of blood in the woods. She radios her chief that the traces likely belong to Rago, who may still be nearby. Overnight, Rago's wounds heal completely, amazing Jiro. While bathing the cat, Jiro recalls his late dog Nach. She once told him his gift was meant to be shared. At night, Rago tries to sneak away despite his injuries, but Jiro catches him using a substitution trick. Rago warns that as a man-eating Mononoke, he doesn't belong with humans. Suddenly, a grinning, gray-skinned Mononoke in a tattered coat appears at Jiro's house, hunting Rago. Jiro attacks the intruder, and the fight sends them fleeing together into the forest. Jiro slashes the pursuing Mononoke's hand to protect Rago, but the creature swells into a towering, fanged beast. Despite his shinobi speed, it clamps its jaws around Jiro, mocking his defeat. As Jiro lies bleeding, the enemy Mononoke urges Rago to devour him and regain his strength. Instead, Rago chooses to sacrifice himself, pouring his own life force into Jiro in a blinding flash. Empowered by Rago's sacrifice, Jiro's eyes glow with newfound strength as a spectral clawed hand joins his own. He drives a devastating fist into the Mononoke, finally striking it down. Bureau of Espionage agent Ichika Kishimojin holds a blade to Jiro's throat, warning him to stay silent. She and her chief, Chief Shiba, reveal themselves as agents taking him into custody. Jiro wakes in a hospital bed, Rago hovering over him like a ghostly spirit, chest scarred from their fusion. When Bureau agent Ichika Kishimojin checks on him, he demands to know where he is. Chief Chief Shiba introduces himself and Ichika, explaining the Bureau of Espionage descends from the Edo-era Oniwaban and hunts Mononoke. He reveals Rago was sealed inside the very facility that was recently attacked. Shiba admits the Bureau cannot undo Jiro's fusion with Rago and warns it may be permanent. Citing danger from other Mononoke, he orders Jiro held in custody. Left alone and fuming at his confinement, Jiro rages that this feels like a prison. Rago warns everyone will want to use him now, but Jiro resolves to stop waiting and break out. Jiro summons a flock of crows that smash through the hospital window and strike down the guards. With the agents scattered, he slips free of the hospital. Free on a rooftop at sunset, Jiro thanks his crow allies with treats. He admits he still has something important to do first. He needs to reach his grandfather before the missing person report does. Jiro sneaks home, keeping Rago hidden, but his grandfather is already waiting for him. Refusing to hear excuses, Gramps drags him off to somewhere private where no one can interfere. Gramps reveals he was once a Bureau of Espionage agent himself and already knows Jiro is fused with Rago. Declaring he must take responsibility for his grandson's mistake, he vows to destroy them both, then himself. Gramps unleashes the Azuma family's deadly fighting style, overwhelming Jiro before he can react. Rago's shadowy claws try to shield him, but the blows keep landing. The battle triggers a childhood memory. Young Jiro got stuck in a tree saving a stray kitten, and Gramps climbed to catch him as he fell. He scolded Jiro, then taught him that real strength means asking others for help. Bloodied but still standing, Jiro declares he's not alone anymore now that he has Rago's power to rely on. Moved, Gramps finally lowers his fists and admits defeat, ending the fight. At night, Jiro soaks in the bath with Rago perched beside him, bandaged from the fight. Despite their rocky start, the two agree to work together as partners going forward. At night, Gramps takes a call from Shiba, who confirms a car will fetch Jiro in the morning. Shiba tells Ichika he's confident Jiro will make a valuable Bureau recruit. Ichika Kishimojin arrives at Jiro's home to formally escort him into Bureau custody. He packs a bag, says a gruff goodbye to his grandfather, and leaves. Ichika tells Jiro he's no longer fully human and calls him little more than a Bureau prisoner. Rago, dozing as a cat, grumbles that their bickering keeps waking him up. The transport van pushes into thick mountain fog as they head into the mountains. A massive unseen Mononoke suddenly slams into it, sending Ichika tumbling across the interior. Ichika steps out alone into the fog, her illusion battle gear engaging as she confronts two Mononoke. A hulking brute carries a wiry, needle-toothed underling perched on its shoulders. Rago explains they've entered Amenti, the Mononoke's spectral realm, and that his cuffs block him from freeing Jiro's power. Despite Rago's cynicism, Jiro insists he can't abandon Ichika while she fights alone. The new pale, horned Mononoke corners Jiro in the fog. It gives him 10 seconds to surrender Rago or become its next meal. Jiro convinces Rago to fuse with him despite the blocked cuffs. Together they turn the fight around, overpowering the monstrous Mononoke alongside Ichika. Bruised and still bickering after the fight, Jiro and Ichika call it even for helping each other. She finally tells him her full name, Ichika Kishimojin. Division Chief Chief Shiba petitions a masked superior to form a new unit codenamed Black Torch. He proposes using Jiro and Rago as bait, with Hana Yuzumi as his assistant. In an inner monologue, Jiro recaps his chaotic week, meeting Rago, nearly dying, and joining the bureau. Ichika visits him during his hospital recovery, unconvinced he's settled into his strange new life. Jiro and Shiba arrive at the bureau's rundown warehouse headquarters. New recruit Reiji Kirihara has just driven Assistant Chief Hana Yuzumi in and offers to carry her luggage. Once introduced to the team, Reiji charms Ichika with flattery over her ambition to lead her clan. He then mocks Jiro as a numbskull who weaseled into the squad. When Jiro snaps back, Shiba orders the two rookies to duel, testing the fledgling squad's abilities. Afterward, Shiba gathers the whole team, Jiro, Ichika, Reiji, and Yuzumi, for a group vote. Chief Shiba watches as Reiji Kirihara, heir to a swordsman lineage, faces Jiro. Setting Rago aside, Jiro declares this fight is between just the two of them. Reiji turns his back and closes his eyes, mocking Jiro by refusing to even face him. Ichika and Yuzumi marvel at his mastery, noting his blade sense covers all 360 degrees with no blind spot. Jiro lands a perfectly timed punch that shatters Reiji's wooden sword, stunning everyone watching. Both fighters press on, trading brutal blows until they land a simultaneous final hit on each other. Both boys collapse from the exchange, leaving the fight a draw despite Shiba's misgivings about staging it. He argues the brawl proves their tenacity, though Yuzumi doubts that will impress the higher-ups. Jiro wakes to find Reiji offering a soda, claiming his win only counted due to the wooden sword. It's a prank though, shaken while Jiro was unconscious, it explodes when he opens it. Shiba admits the sparring match was never meant to impress anyone, it was simply a test. He decides to send the untested pair on a real field mission the very next day. Ichika fits Jiro and Reiji with special operations gear, demonstrating its quantum camouflage that disguises them as civilians. A stealth mode renders them semi-transparent too, though it drains the suit's power dramatically. The team arrives at a shrine that doubles as a bureau facility, a detail Reiji deduces almost immediately. A flustered agent stationed there scolds Shiba for scheduling their visit the same day as Division 1's inspection. Through a trapdoor and hidden staircase, the group descends into what Jiro jokes is a secret ninja fortress. They reach a massive chamber lined with death obsidian, the rare stone once used to seal Rago away. Reiji refuses to stay with Jiro as planned, insisting on partnering with Ichika instead, so Shiba takes his place. Left alone with Rago, Jiro presses him, but Rago insists he remembers nothing about being sealed or freed. Their search of the sealing chamber turns up nothing. Security cameras were mysteriously blanked for the 10 minutes Rago escaped. Straining to remember, Rago recalls hooded Mononoke figures surrounding him as he awoke. Overwhelmed by the new information, Jiro concludes the enemy wants Rago back in revenge on the Bureau. He vows to just beat answers out of whoever comes for them, exasperating Shiba, who calls him hopeless. Koga, a stranger who'd been lingering outside the shrine, suddenly appears underground, telling Rago he's eagerly anticipated their reunion. As the fight erupts, a barrier traps Ichika and Reiji outside while Sodwan's chief, Toko Kusumi, arrives. Koga, a rival Mononoke, confronts Jiro's group and declares that Rago will soon belong to him. He mocks Jiro's ignorance of Rago's true nature, calling him a nearly immortal, one-of-a-kind spiritual powerhouse. Koga attacks, snarling that Jiro is worthless before turning on Rago, calling him nothing but a trash can. Rago furiously rejects being treated as property, refusing to become anyone's tool. Unleashes his family's Kirihara Ryu technique, a lightning-fast blade strike that finally wounds Koga in the fight. It's an impressive blow, though not quite enough to finish him. Meanwhile, Ichika and a colleague race to break the barrier, trapping Jiro and Reiji in the fight. Shiba brushes off suspicion that he engineered the newbie's ordeal as a test. Fight resumes as Koga taunts Jiro for wasting Rago's immense power while barely fighting back. Rago snaps back that they are not tools or objects for Koga to use or label. Jiro's eyes flash gold as he and Rago combine their strength, unleashing a single devastating punch that sends Koga reeling. Reiji marvels that their combined power is incredible. Unable to summon reinforcements, Koga suddenly vanishes from the fight rather than risk losing his shot at Rago. He lingers just long enough to learn Jiro's surname, reacting to his ties with the Azuma family of spies. Back at base, Shiba praises the recruits despite a colleague's doubts. Reiji admits he felt helpless in the fight and vows to grow stronger. Jiro privately broods over Koga's cryptic remark about his unknown father. Shiba introduces Fuyo, a cooperative Mononoke, to lead spectral illusion suppression training for the new recruits. She casts her spell, plunging Jiro, Reiji, and the others into a trance-like illusion. Trapped inside the illusion, Reiji is confronted by a vision of his dead brother Shinji, sword drawn and taunting him. He forces himself to recognize it as nothing more than Fuyo's spell. In her own illusion, Ichika relives a cherished memory of gardening with her mother Kanade. Young Ichika insists she wants to become a spy just like her parents. Kanade is soon called away on an urgent mission. Years later, grief drives Ichika to become a bureau agent. She then learns her mother never died but was turned to stone by a Mononoke's curse. A vision warns she'll share her mother's fate if she keeps searching. Jiro and Reiji flee through a wall-less maze inside the illusion, chased by a monstrous creature. Realizing it's Fuyo's spell, they steel themselves to fight their way out together. Inside a bureau training simulation, a monstrous illusion looms over Ichika. She stands firm, declaring she's grown up and won't be fooled by a mere hallucination. She unleashes her own power and shatters it. Outside the pod, bureau staff watch in alarm as the exercise spirals out of control. A tech suspects Rago's chaotic power is bleeding into the simulation itself. Something has gone badly wrong. Dream shifts to an old village, where a black cat is tended like a living deity. Villagers shower him with gratitude, food, and offerings, calling him their guardian and saving grace. Jiro suddenly realizes this isn't a normal vision. Rago confirms he's viewing actual memories from before he was sealed inside the Death Obsidian in the year 1730. An old acquaintance named Amagi arrives at the shrine. He reveals a secret human strike force, the Oniwaban, has been hunting Mononoke. He asks Rago to join him and fight back. Rago flatly refuses to pick a side, telling Amagi not to come crawling back for help. Amagi warns that a Mononoke of his power won't be ignored. He vows to return the next day for a final answer. Amagi returns as promised, praising the village's fertile land and fine food. He admits he needed sustenance for the battle ahead and leaves Rago an ominous parting gift. The village lies obliterated. Amagi reveals his comrades devoured the villagers. Rago, consumed by rage, vaporized them and leveled the entire village himself. Amagi delivers an ultimatum: kill him and become an enemy to both humans and Mononoke, or join him and crush the Oniwaban. Rago must decide. Cornered and enraged, Rago snaps and attacks Amagi outright. He refuses to ally with either side. He later fuses with the Death Obsidian, sealing himself away to bear the blame alone. Back in the present, Jiro tells Rago that saving him years ago was itself a choice. He reminds Rago he isn't alone. Rago wryly admits the irony of ending up bonded with a kid after swearing off allies. A monstrous Mononoke bursts up from the water inside the fraying simulation. It won't budge and the order comes to evacuate. Jiro and Rago barely make it out in time. Back at Bureau HQ, Shiba declares the exercise a success, now armed with intel on a high-ranking Mononoke named Amagi. Rather than report it upward, the team decides to keep this wild card for themselves. News broadcast reports a fresh string of decapitation murders, and Rago confirms Mononoke are likely responsible. Over dinner, the team learns Mononoke feed on human vital energy to grow stronger, recalling Amagi's warning from Rago's past. A live news report shows a dense fog swallowing the town of Hirosaka. Authorities seal every road in and out, while Bureau agents quietly set up a perimeter nearby. Chief Shiba briefs Jiro's team. A Mononoke has trapped Hirosaka in fog, and someone may be pulling the strings. Their mission is to save survivors, defuse the fog, and capture every enemy they find. Bureau technician hands each teammate a lotus petal to swallow, a voiceless transmitter since radios fail inside the fog. Moments later, the trio steps into the mist. Deep in the fog, a group of Mononoke feast on captured humans' vital energy, boasting about their haul. Suddenly they sense Rago closing in and vow to stop holding back. Jiro's team finds civilians collapsed under a mysterious spell throughout the city. Rago appears and serves as their spectral radar, sensing 4 Mononoke hidden in the fog, so the team splits up to search. As the team plans their search, a Mononoke fixates its attention solely on Jiro. He tells Ichika and their teammate to go on without him and stays behind to fight alone. Elsewhere, Ichika finds a towering column of black fog with a captive hanging unconscious near its top. She orders the Mononoke controlling it to drop the spell. It refuses, choosing to fight instead. Nearby, Jiro faces down a hulking horned Mononoke who swings with raw, simple power. He dodges its heavy blows, then calls on Rago to end the fight with one decisive strike. Their combined attack is blocked cold, and the Mononoke transforms into a towering, fanged demon god. It once ruled as a venerated deity until forgotten worshippers turned to assassins. Now the Mononoke plan to reclaim their place by force. Mononoke traps Ichika inside a twisted illusion, forcing her into its nightmare toy collection. She refuses to break under its taunts. Then she unleashes a hidden shinobi technique, striking its horn and crippling its control over the spell. Rago's true form blocks a sudden strike, and Jiro reels from a surge of power he can't explain. Privately, Rago realizes he's been unknowingly draining Jiro's vital energy the entire time they've been bonded. A hooded figure draws twin swords against a lone bureau swordsman. A stunned onlooker recognizes the blade's style, gasping the words Kirihara Ryu. The duel is left unresolved as the season's story comes to a close.